had to like spider monkey to the top with like duct tape in my mouth and like tape it down. And I'd always been really curious about like RV life and van life, and everything is hidden up here. We're not gonna go there. I get to prioritize my friendships and my family. Hi, my name is Destiny and this is my rig, the Stab Wagon. Let's go have a tour. Come on inside. We're gonna start from the ground up. This is my alpaca rug that I love, that covers the hole from when I went digging and my floor started to come up. So we're going to ignore that. Right here is my tool chest, which everyone always comments on. They say that, oh, that looks cool, that's a great idea, but actually it's a horrible idea because the doors break. As you can see, this is drilled in here to keep this from popping out, which holds a lot of my clothes. My van is a traveling wardrobe. So looks great, but bad idea. Don't do it unless you're a masochist. Here is my fridge. It is a 12-volt fridge and runs on my house battery. I have no complaints about it. Over here is an art piece that my friend gave me. I used to work with pinnipeds and cetaceans and penguins, so you might see that there's kind of like a theme going on with my van, so that's where that comes from. This is where my house battery is. So I have two that you'll see that's set up as a series. I also have an amp relay, and I have one solar panel that does mostly nothing. But the amp relay is really great. I also put like arts and crafts stuff down there and like cleaning stuff and stuff like that. So that is what that is used for. But my favorite thing like about my kitchen is how big my sink is. All right, so I do really like that I have this giant counter space. So I cleaned everything up for this video, and everything is hidden up here. We're not gonna go there. But usually I have everything all laid out like nice and orderly as a representation of how I would like my life. Nice and orderly, but usually it's just full of chaos. Over here is my little penguin. My friend gave me that. This is actually Velcro down. It's a drink mixer, but I usually just put Q-tips in there. And here is where I put like all of my facial products, because even though I live in a tin can, I am a bougie bitch and I need to have like my skincare products. So they all live in there. Over here, one of my things that I do for safety is I always put my keys in one place. That way, if I feel uncomfortable, I can drive off easily. So I always put my keys here. I like to hang my belts back behind here, my towel if it's not drying in the front. This guy pulls out and turns into a flat tabletop. So that way, if I want to cook, I have a nice place to where the propane can have a little bit of air. Fun fact, I didn't cook with propane for the first 2 years of van life. I just started using it because I set a canister on fire once and I was afraid to use propane. So I didn't cook for a whole 2 years. I'm a very bad cook, and we're gonna leave it at that. This is another bin of clothes because again, I have a traveling wardrobe, and right here, something very important, my fire extinguisher. Always have one, and this is ABC, which is what you're supposed to have, and I forgot what that means. Like my plan was to go backpacking in Europe to do my 30 countries by 30. And then COVID happened, and like with a lot of people like that, put a little like crux in my plan. I was like, it's not the time now for international travel, so I'm gonna do it domestically. And I'd always been really curious about like RV life and van life, and just I wanted to be a nomad in general. So I like woke up in the middle of the night one night and I was like, I'm gonna sell all my shit and I'm gonna buy a van and I'm gonna travel. And that's what I did. So I put in my 2 weeks and I figured it out. And I've been on the road for 2 years ever since. And like there are moments where I do feel burnt out, but I am nowhere near done with living this lifestyle. It's definitely like a, you know, a road-mance for sure, like road romance. All right, so here we are in the back of my rig. So you open this up and it is more clothes. So I got a lot of that. Underneath here, we have my powder room. Over here, we have, like, tucked into this corner is where I like to keep essentials. Over here, I have a monoxide alarm next to my smoke alarm, which goes off all the time when I burn my potatoes, which is the only thing I really know how to cook. Which, if I'm burning them, I don't know how to cook them, so I guess I know how to cook nothing. My bed is amazing. It's one of my favorite things in my rig. It's super, super comfy. So I have this bottom layer, which is supposed to help like with mold, which can be a problem in vans. I haven't had any mold even when I was like in super rainy areas. Like I was in Alaska all last summer and it was really, really rainy and damp all the time. I didn't have any mold in my rig, which I was really, really grateful for. I feel really fortunate because with my rig, I'm 5'2" and I can sleep like width-wise with it. So there's like just enough room for me to like spread out and sleep that way, which makes it super, super comfortable. I also really like that I have the windows in the back because if I need a little bit more ventilation, I have a fan like for the summer, but if I need a little bit more ventilation, I can also open my windows. So that's something that I really like about my sleeping space. This AC thing is complete bullshit. It doesn't work. The top of it actually tore off like on the exterior of the van during a storm. I actually had the flu during that time too, so it tore off. There was this giant storm going. I was in Myrtle Beach and I had to like spider monkey to the top with like duct tape in my mouth and like tape it down and then like wiggle my baby back into my van where I like passed back out. It was an experience, but it does not work. So if you look between my legs, these are shoes that I've been carrying around for years that I got when I was backpacking in London that I've worn twice. So obviously they're essential to bring with me. And then this is my cousin it outfit that I made myself. It's about 7 layers of hula skirts and it looks awesome. Another thing is like that I'm really grateful for with this kind of lifestyle is I get to prioritize my friendships and my family. So, you know, as you get older, like people have obligations and it's great because I can plan my life around seeing them. So I can go and travel and see them and I'm super, super grateful for it. But also with that, you gotta say goodbye. And, you know, like anything else, like that gets tough. Being a solo woman on the road, I worry about my safety a lot and I take a lot of precautions. So when I'm in like a safe place, like when I'm with family or I'm staying with a friend and you just like have that security where you don't need to watch your back, where you don't need to worry about all these like minute things that you worry about on a day-to-day basis and you leave that, you know, you can feel a little bit like a little like empty afterwards because you were surrounded by like so much warmth. You know, everybody wants to feel like safe and secure. And, you know, I think even if you're not a nomad and you're lucky enough to have a good relationship with your family, like you go home and you like feel like a kid again and you leave and you're like, oh man, back to this adulting thing. That's what I can say it's a similar feeling to. So this is the back of my rig. So let's take a look inside. You might be wondering why I have this stick. I wonder that too. So I've been carrying this around for a year and a half to eventually use in an art piece. So I got this outside of Glacier National Park, this like piece of driftwood, and I think it's really rad, but it like hits me in the leg every day. So it's been my traveling companion. This, when it's completely empty, slides all the way out. This holds like 6 of these giant containers. So most of them are full of clothes. This one is full of like gifts and like random things. If you look over here, again, like this is where my windscreen is. These are my like window covers that are like going in the breeze. I have like other pieces of like art that are stuffed over here that I don't want to get rid of or anything. My rig is named after, is back here. Like this is saran wrapped right now. But my rig is named after my favorite penguin that I worked with. Her name was C-Tab, and my friend made this for me, like in her honor. So I carry this with me in the back. I don't really have a good place to like hang it up in here, but it's something that's really important to me. So this wire over here leads to a solar shower that I forgot is in this bag. I tried using it once, and for me it was more trouble than it's worth. So now it just lives like out of sight, out of mind in that bag. Fear is what holds a lot of people back. And like the two things that I would tell them are that like perfect timing doesn't exist. Like time goes by quick, do the thing now. Perfect timing does not exist. That's a lie. Everything doesn't magically set itself up to lend its way to you doing something. Like that's just like, to me personally, I think that's just a form of procrastination. So if you want to do something, do it and figure it out. And again, like I think the other number one thing that holds people back is fear. And okay, you have fear, then just do things scared. Then it'll get better. Just do things scared. Thank you for coming with me to see my tiny abode. I am on Instagram and TikTok at wander.des. If you have any questions, if you are a fan of puns, I make a lot of dad jokes on there, but to spell it out, it is WANDER .DESS, and I'm actually really proud of myself that I didn't mess that up. So again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to hear from you later.